Looks like a beetle larvae. It's trying to get away. Wood pigeons up on the wire there, strutting around. I noticed that the arum lilies are about to unfurl. These really are some of my favourite plants. I was absolutely fascinated by them as a child. If you know me or have been watching my vlog, you'll know how much I love nature books, and this is one of my favourites from when I was little. And I remember seeing this and just thinking, wow, that's so amazing and exotic. And yeah, I just feel really lucky that I have them in my garden. It's another book which is just gorgeous. Kebble Martin. And I could only ever hope to paint as well as he does, but I just love these illustrations. Arum maculatum. Bit of a sad morning. I gave the ducks a big tin bath, their big tin bath to swim around in yesterday. And the excitement was a bit much for Fudge, but anyway, he sadly died in the night. So I've got a very lonely John. Because they've been together, well, they're father and son, and they've been together about 8 years. So that's a bit sad, but on a happier note, so the little ducklings have actually holed up inside there. You just see them in there at the back there. They're in their coop, but they've got some growers pellets and a little dish of water, as well as a drinker here if they venture out this far and some comfrey. So I've put some towels just over this bit of the pen to kind of encourage them out a little bit, but I'm going to leave them for a few hours just to settle in, and then I'll come and make sure they have something to eat and drink. So these are unsexed ducklings, 4 weeks old, so I won't know for a 3 more weeks whether they're ducks or drakes. Doesn't really matter. If I've got 2 ducks, that's fine, they can go in with John. If I've got 2 drakes, that's fine, they can also go in with John. If I've got a duck and a drake, I'll have to keep them separate from John, because it's not fair on the duck. So I just have to wait and see. But they're Welsh Harlequins and they're a really pretty breed. And I hope I do have a duck, because it'd be lovely to have duck eggs again. And I could potentially breed from these 2. So yeah, exciting. I mean, people often say, well, how do you end up with so much poultry? Well, the reason being, when you lose one, and you know, obviously it kind of happens. You can't just really replace them with one. I mean, obviously I went to the duck place with a view to getting one elderly female duck, but no, it was not to be. So yeah, you do end up replacing one with 2 or 3 or 4, which has happened to me in the past, and you end up getting, you know, given birds and stuff like this, so you end up with a rather mixed flock. But that's fine, it's all good, and it's quite nice to sort of mix things up sometimes. I've not had this breed before. I've only ever had calls because they're very little, and they don't tend to do so much damage on the garden. But, you know, we'll see how we get on with these two. If they are a pair and I need to sell them on, that should be easy enough to do. So we'll wait and see what happens with John and these 2 new ducks, who I will have to name. So maybe we could have a duck naming contest on the vlog. So yeah, hopefully in a few weeks' time they'll start getting their feathers and we'll be able to see their beautiful speckledy plumage. Hello, little ones. You can see they're really fluffy. That's all their down. So they haven't got their feathers yet. They'll get those in a couple of weeks. And until that time, they're not waterproof. And the down does keep them warm, but obviously there's only a couple of them. Look at the size of their feet. They're huge. Anyway, so last night I came out here last thing because it went down to sort of about 1 degree, and I popped some hay along the back here just for to make sure it wasn't too drafty. Hashtag anxious mother. Hello, little ones. My daughters have named them Squish and Squash. So like I said, I don't know if they're males or females yet. Hello. Getting a bit less shy, aren't you? You all right, mate? He seems fine, actually. I was a bit worried he might sort of pine, and he does quack rather forlornly in the evenings. But he's okay. He's so he's a call duck, and you can see how much smaller his feet are compared to the ducklings, who are kind of regular sized ducks. And call ducks are so named because they make a right racket, and they were bred as like live decoys to bring in the waterfowl. So they'd put them, they'd sort of put them on a pond or something, and the female's call, which is incredibly loud, would draw in other, you know, wild ducks. And so that's why they're called call ducks. But they're little miniatures. They're like bantam. They're not strictly bantam ducks. They're sort of smaller than a bantam duck. So yeah, they're really quite wee, and they do much less damage because they've got little bills and little feet. And I just love the shape of them. And the place I got the Welsh Harlequins from actually do call ducks, but they didn't have any. And I kind of thought, well, I need to get some, and I need to get some ducks rather. So there we go. But he's a handsome chap, so he's a mallard. Not a particularly good example of a mallard call, but yeah. I moved the ducks because you can see what they've done to the comfrey. So I've moved them over here where they've got another. Oh, you can't quite see, but they've got some more. Are you going to focus? No. They've got some more comfrey in there. So what I'm doing is just giving them. Oh, come around here. Hello, chooks. The ducks are actually getting a little less freaked out by me. So there's their new comfrey, and I'm giving them some pellets, and then I just give them a small tub, an old frying pan of water, because with ducks people think they need a pond, but actually they it's much better for them to have small amounts of water that you change frequently. So I just keep a watering can next to them so that I can top that up. So I'll just see if I can say hello to them. They'll probably come out. They're not quite as scared as they were. You can just see their feathers are starting to come through on their tails. They grow so quickly. They tend to be very nervy if they haven't had a mum. That's why I always like to use a natural mother for them, because they're very different when they've been incubated. Hello, little ones. It's okay. I'll give them some more water. I've let Madam out for a scratch around and a dust bath. So she seems to just be picking a fight with one of the other hens. Wasn't really what I had intended you to do, sweetheart. Get a bit of pent-up aggression out of her system. No, not through the wire. They don't quite know what to do with themselves, bless them. I've taken the opportunity while she's off the nest to just sprinkle a little bit of water, warm water, over her eggs, just because they need to maintain humidity around the eggs, so the sort of membranes develop properly and they hatch okay. So I'll just put a little bit of water around the hay. She will actually, when she comes out, she gets a bit of dew on her breast feathers, and then obviously she comes in and that keeps the moisture levels a bit higher. But I've just helped them out because obviously from an evolutionary perspective they'd be on the ground where you get the sort of moisture coming up through, so just helping them out a bit. It's okay for the hen to be off the eggs for a little while. In fact, it sort of does them good to get out and just bathe and scratch and eat a bit of grass and poop and stuff. So you don't really want them off for more than sort of, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes. But she's only been out for a few minutes at the moment, so I'll let her have a bit more of a scratch. Obviously watch them, because you know, you really don't want a fox getting them just as they're halfway through incubating eggs. So I'll keep a close eye on her, and if she's not made her way back in the next kind of 10-15 minutes, I'll get her in with some corn. But it is quite important they get to sort of scratch and bathe, because obviously just sort of sitting there they can end up with you know, sort of parasites and stuff. So it's good to get them out and about and bathing.